Hello and welcome to another episode of the Influencer Project podcast. I'm Rana Saini.
And I'm Andrew McWhirter.
And today's topic is this: where do I start? Sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of the Influencer Project podcast.
I have a dream.
That people with passion can change the world for the better.
The Influencer Project podcast.
Those people that are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones that actually do.
All right, guys, welcome back. Another podcast, and the topic today is where do I start? And we're having this conversation at the end of a week, so it's kind of
Well, it's really the first. It's the 1st of July. It's really the first of a financial year for us. So where do I start? So, where do you want to start playing at the beginning of a financial year with your brand? Where's social media? So many questions that we get asked are, I just don't know where to start. And so often, you look at the world that we play in, and this is our game, and it's sometimes easy to overlook the value that we understand that sits inside platforms and transfer that across to where you consider value is right for you inside of your business. So the question that we just really want to sort of talk through today is, where do I start? If you're someone in business, whether it's small, medium, so many of you, even great size businesses turning over 3 to 5 million, they're turning around going, they don't even have a social media policy, they don't have a social media strategy, they don't understand how marketing plays. They think that just posting up a couple of photos on Facebook is a strategy. It's not, it's just a stupid waste of time. So the question that we really want to get to and start throwing a couple of these pointers out to you is, where do I start? What's right for you and why? And we're going to talk through a couple of examples today as well.
So where do I start? And I mean, look, one of the things is I look at companies who, as you said, have been going for a while, and they don't see themselves as having to start because they've been going for many, many years. And one of the things about innovation is that innovation requires you to start consistently. Because what got you here won't get you there. And what you started 12 months ago, what we started 12 months ago is inevitably, and mate, it is actually very different to where we are now. So we are constantly evolving, changing, adapting what we're doing and starting to starting another strategy that is better off the back of something that we've had to learn lessons from. And so the heart of this it comes down to social media. And where do you start on social media? So if you're a new business, what tends to happen is we create a brand, and we've discussed this in previous podcasts. You get your websites, you get your business cards, you get your business name registered, you call yourself a business owner, you call yourself an entrepreneur. That's about where it starts. Or people set up these ad hoc pages. So they'll set up a Facebook page, a Twitter account, they'll set up a LinkedIn page, they'll set up an Instagram account,
a YouTube channel.
They'll tick the boxes. So they box tick. But what they're not doing is considering what is the strategy that you have in place to have these accounts being set up in the first place. And what we kind of do is we assume, and people, we have these chats with conversations all the time, is that by just ticking the boxes, it's just going to help us. Now, nothing could be furthest from the truth. If you think of anything, you start a channel, and that channel has had A, no activity, B, no engagement, C, there's no real strategy around it, so there's no reason for people to see it as a standout account. How does that look? It's like having, let's take the digital conversation into a retail conversation. You go past Lorna Jane down here, and Lorna Jane, they start a shop, and they have a couple of clothes, and then they don't order any new clothes once they've started. They set everything up, and then they kind of just let everything go. People walk past and they go, well,
that looks old.
It looks old. It looks really tacky, tired, people look unenthusiastic, and so it can affect the brand of Lorna Jane in much the same way as a dead Facebook page that you haven't posted anything since 2009.
And it says so on the page, right? It'll say your last post, 9 July 2013, and you go,
yeah,
shit, are they still actually in existence?
And what does that say about your business? What it says is that A, you're either out of business, you're not innovating, you're not popular,
you did something once.
So what I tell clients is delete the accounts if you're not going to use them, firstly. Or if you do want to use them, it's time to use them, get active and get consistent.
Perfect. And so one of the points to consider is Rana mentioned a number of different platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn. You know, there are 6. Quickly run through them. Let's just run through them now. We don't have a lot of time, but let's just sort of run through them and explain what they're potentially used for, and some good examples as to what types of industries could use them and are using them well.
Okay, let's go.
Let's start with YouTube.
Okay, YouTube you've got to think of YouTube, in my opinion, as a TV station.
TV channel.
It's a social TV channel. It requires video content.
Yep.
So,
and the beauty about YouTube is that it's not just video. There's the text that goes with it.
Yep.
And so you have a lot of content in fields underneath that can be optimized, just like a website, to be able to rank keywords inside of Google. Okay, so all your video content should be housed on YouTube, because also there are links that come off that. Would you say?
Yep. So when you Google a brand, YouTube videos will come up, because people actually search for videos in Google. They go click video, and if they search, for example, a client that we're working with, they search property development and they go to video, you want property development to be one of your keywords. So you're the #1 leader in property development inside of your local area.
You know what's interesting, Rana, is, and we hear this all the time, right, is when we talk about LinkedIn, people say, oh, but how many people search inside of LinkedIn really for a keyword? How many people search inside of Instagram for a hashtag? How many people search inside of Google? Everyone thinks, but that's your reality of it. You just go, oh, I go to Google to search. What a load of crap that is. You know, you're not necessarily a customer of the offering, the service, or the product that you're presenting to market.
Yeah.
Other people are, and where other people are searching is for a professional service. They're playing in LinkedIn, and they are searching. And take what it is that's your main keyword. For example, if you are an RTO in real estate, put in RTO real estate or training organisation real estate in LinkedIn and see where your profile comes up. Oh, hang on, it probably will never be found. Why? Because your profile's shit and it hasn't been optimized. If you want to understand more about that, start looking at various profiles and seeing who's doing it well. Jump on my profile, Rana's profile.
Yeah.
It gives you the best tips as to how to structure it out. It's not hard, but it's just thinking about it. So LinkedIn for professional services, to be able to stand out. All the platforms are databases, search engines, just like Google. So keep that in mind when you're creating
so
those
let's
platforms.
quickly go through YouTube. What industries would be used on YouTube then? Going back to YouTube.
I'd put everything in YouTube.
When you say everything, so for example,
all video content inside a channel on LinkedIn, and have it captioned.
So one of the things I think people miss on YouTube, they go, well, they're not comfortable on camera, but you don't need to be comfortable on camera. We can literally be filming this, which we are, or we have someone filming us filming this, behind the scenes content, snippets of client testimonials, talking about recent projects you're doing, going out and looking at some of the clients and showcasing their businesses and how your business is helping them.
So a mortgage broker would work really, really well.
Yep.
Property developer, really, really well.
Real estate.
Real estate agent, brilliant. Yep. Who else? Training organisations.
Yep, consultants.
Online marketplaces.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no business that wouldn't work well with video. In fact, video is the #1 content channel in which you could share your message.
So jump across Facebook.
Well, Facebook now with Facebook Live has opened up a whole new level. So you can actually reach and connect with people in real time in video. And yes, it takes, I believe it takes a certain level of confidence to do it. But you know what it takes? Just getting started. Just try it. So Facebook is a very good channel. It's what I call the social party. So it's where people want to see real life behind the scenes. It's more for people who have products. Yes, they can have a service, but if you want to sell on Facebook, I believe it's a product-based sort of,
cool.
People who have...
so what examples?
People who, let's look at pets, very engaging. Food, very engaging. Babies, very engaging. If you're an orthodontist, probably not engaging. If you're someone who sells...
this is how I rip a tooth out.
if like an accountant, probably not the most engaging. So you've got to look, Facebook is kind of like fun. You go to a cocktail party and have a chat and you want to see interesting, fun people.
What you've actually described, Rans, is product, service.
Yeah.
If you really want to understand it, product, Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Sort of Twitter.
Yep.
Maybe
so Twitter's a bit B2B as well. A little bit B2B.
I was going to say that. And so if you're a service, this is where LinkedIn and Twitter might actually be the right strategy for you.
Yep, totally agree. I mean, because Instagram is just basically primarily pictures, so images, anything that requires images. So it's very much, bless you. It's very much.
This is live. Can't cut that out.
Jesus. It's very food. Like you think of food. Again, what gets great engagement is things that are interesting, cute, funny.
So here's the thing. Great example is where there's great engagement on a social platform is around niche. If you want to be a generalist inside any social platform, LinkedIn, B2B, Facebook, B2C. If you want to be considered a real player in that game, you've got to be considered a specialist rather than a generalist. Does it mean that you can offer the other products or services? No, not at all. What it means is that if you really want to play a bigger game, niche it down. Give us an example of, say, pets. You were talking about pets before. How would you sort of recommend in the game of pets?
So go over to, on Facebook, I started as a test in this area. Rather than going, I sell pet products, what I went and did is I started a very niche, because people have an affinity to certain specific things, and with affinity comes that kind of radicalization, fundamentalism is the word I'm looking for, around things. So the engagement's higher. So for example, I started a pug page, Pug Lovers Community. Now pugs are a dog, so you go pets, dog, pug. So you niche 2 down. So another one is, we've got another brand that's just going absolutely gangbusters. Food, ready-made meals, gluten-free ready-made meals. You know, when you look at it, so if you want to get really clear on how to niche, look at what's the industry, what's a niche in that industry, and what's a specialization in that niche. So yeah, just go too deep. So basically, this is your industry, and then what's one chunk in, and what's
one more.
So for example, you know, let's look at property. You got property. Property is a big umbrella. Property development. And then it could be property development, which is buy and hold strategy. Buy and hold property. You know, is
buy and hold property investment.
Or you could, if you want to niche even more, buy and hold townhouses
or $1 million.
Or $1 million, or units, or we just do houses. You know, like you have to find your way of niching.
Or real estate, houses, suburb. Like if you think about where real estate plays, their farm areas are very suburb based. You know, it's a big enough. There are several thousand houses in every suburb, and it's you won't find a real estate agent in one suburb selling on the other side of town. Unless they're commercial real estate, however residential, it just won't be. Why? Because there's this idea about travel and time, which I appreciate. And so, real estate, houses,
suburb.
And
this is where people say, you know, you've got to be the best in the world at. Now let's just take a step. You don't need to be the best in the world at what you do. You just need to be the best in your world at what you do. And so that's where it's a really good way of putting how to be a good niche. I want to be the best property developer in Brisbane and specialising in townhouses. And that is how you would niche it down. Now, like when you look at Twitter or Facebook, there's let's break it back down. I don't think property development goes really well on Instagram because you can visualize the finished product. You know, think about it. Instagram, visual. So anything that's visual and sexy and smart and will be great on Instagram. Whereas again, if you're a writer, for example, you're a writer, you write for books. Instagram, probably not so much.
So restaurants.
Perfect for Instagram.
Cafes, coffee shops. Great for Instagram, Facebook. Play together really, really well.
They do play really well. And going onto Twitter, writers go really well on Twitter, like celebrities, personalities, because you can directly connect with these people. Now they're opened up a bit more, like in terms of video and whatnot. But Twitter's it's kind of like thought leadership. You know, you see a lot of intellectuals on there. They'll put policy down and they'll hashtag and tag in someone else.
Actually, that's a really good point. Go back to Instagram, hashtagging inside of Instagram. You know, if you understand what the hashtag is all about, the hashtag is the medium by which the search engine operates. So when you hashtag Wilston property or hashtag property development or hashtag pugs, hashtag LinkedIn, whatever it is, that's what people are searching for. So when you understand the strategy, and I mean, it was the first time I remember we started, because hey, listen, I'm no marketing guru. That's where your game is. And when you have our social team actually putting the first lot of hashtags on our Instagrams, a long time ago, I'm going, oh my God, what do we all have all these words there for? There's a reason behind it.
Then you see 180 likes on it, and you go,
oh right, I can start to understand the reach of this thing.
Yeah. And so Twitter is very B2C, B2B. LinkedIn, as you say, and as we've spoken about a number of times, very much B2B, P2P.
And what about this last one, Snapchat?
Yeah, so Snapchat's this big thing around Snapchat. Now
there's so much heat around Snapchat, trying to get it really to the, I mean, it's already there, however, being able to engage that platform in a business perhaps.
And Snapchat is very much about live. It's live, it's real time. So it's a tricky one, right? Because people who are interesting live and people who are confident and extroverted would go well on Snapchat. Not saying that introverted people
would. Give us some examples.
Entertainers.
Yep.
So if you're a musician, if you're an actor, if you're a
real estate,
if you're an entertaining real estate agent and you have a purpose behind it, you got to think of it's entertainment. People will tune into something that's live and want to see it if it's entertaining. If you're a little bit like stale, takes you a while to warm up, probably not a live kind of.
So how long would a good snap be?
Well, I think, isn't it a minute?
Yeah, it's about.
It's about a minute. So you got to really get what you want out in 60 seconds.
Yep.
So you got to be very clear, very concise, boom, about it.
Perfect. All right. Well, listen, there are some interesting platforms for us to consider inside of this, and this is just a little snapshot really into what the platforms are. There are half a dozen that we talked about. By the way, there are dozens more.
Yeah.
However, they're probably the main six.
Do you mind if I just say, so this is where people get confused and they try to do all of them, as we've said. I would recommend that you look at what is your primary. So what is the primary channel that you're most comfortable with?
60, 80% of the time?
Yes, and you'll know because you're using it all the time, right? Yeah. And so rather than trying to use something like Hootsuite, which there's nothing wrong with Hootsuite, but it's just like generic, put it on Hootsuite, boom, share across.
Actually, just in saying that as well, you look at Hootsuite, when they use the Hootsuite platform and it pushes it into, say, LinkedIn, when you do a link, it'll put the little owl and sort of break the link. And so you can start to see the strategy that people are playing, and it's just
a bit lazy.
A to the masses lazy strategy as well. Remember, you're having a relationship with your masses rather than a strategy to the masses.
There was a big complaint, just slightly off topic, but when someone found out that a celebrity was using someone else to post, and they lost so many followers when they found that out, because people have something around knowing that it's authentic, right? And so have your primary. So for me, my primary would still be Facebook. I like Facebook. I'm comfortable with it. I have a big community inside of that. LinkedIn, I've also got a pretty good community around it. And then the flip of it is the others are secondary too. So if I post good content on either of those channels, I will share it with the bottom, and I will if I've got 80% of my community in Facebook, I'll say, hey guys, follow me on Snapchat. So you build up a community in one primary channel and then filter it down into your secondary channels.
Yeah, good point.
And that would be just so you don't have to start all of them and try to spread yourself really thin.
Do one, be the best in the world at that.
Yeah.
But then capitalise and benefit in the secondary sources. Great tip.
So guys, look, head on over. If you're interested in how we play inside the Influencer Project, head on over to theinfluencerproject.com. We also have a podcast, which is influencerproject.com/podcast. Drop us a line, a question, a comment, a topic you'd like us to discuss. And guys, look, pretty much that is it. In the meantime, that's it from me, buddy.
Yeah, enough from him too.
All right, guys, have fun. Any questions, share, like, comment below this video.
Or dislike. Even if you don't like the shit we're spruiking, tell us. And tell us why.
Criticise.
We'd love to. We'll get you on the show, and we'll see how we can get more clarity or answer to the question.
What you're doing. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you next time. Boom.